but what are you doing in your life that is major and causing some major issues for you? And then the latter part of that, when you go so long ignoring the right way, the right thing, the right wisdom, the right approach, the right way of thinking. Yes, there are fears, there are inhibitions, there are things that we went through. Excuse me, I get allergies, and this weather right now is doing something special. But how long are you going to, allow that way of thinking to really handicap you? But is it a handicap if you're choosing to do it? Because there's a difference between not knowing and doing, and then knowing to do and still not doing. I had a pastor who used to say, whether somebody gets shot on purpose or not, the result is the same. All they realize is there's a bullet in my body, and there wasn't a bullet before. I don't have time to try to calculate and analyze and speculate who, what, when, where, why. All I know is they shot. So if your results and your fruit are giving you what you don't want, how do you fix it? And if it's something that you have just flat out refused to do, when you reap the benefits, you really can't say nothing. Now, this is just what one man's experience has been and what he feels God showed him and what he's been able to share. And even though it was written that long ago, it still applies to every day. This lady I know years ago, she used to say, I'm not boo-boo the fool. I'm not getting ready to be nobody's boo-boo the fool. And a fool is one of two things. You either just don't know because you are unknowledgeable, or it is by choice. And I choose to not be a fool. The other part of that is the longer that you delay, there's so much ground and space that you lose. There is so much ground that you end up losing because you're dragging your feet, being lazy, being stubborn, being hard-headed, and being prideful. And we know a lot of things that the Bible says about pride, but pride can also come in very, very undercover, discreet ways and thought processes. How we analyze certain things. Are we going to choose what God and what wisdom says, or are we going to choose our own way of doing it? That's a form of pride. So this opening in the book of Proverbs, and there were so many scriptures, and I was like, Lord, I don't want to beat people over the head, because out the gate Proverbs is coming with guns swinging, all right, niggas, I'm sorry, excuse my expression, but that might fly out of my mouth. It has nothing to do with colors, it's just the thing, but it's coming swinging from the jump. So the first question, how long? The other part is when it happens, when you refuse to listen, that's my dog, if you can hear that, she's having her little playtime. But if you refuse to listen, when that payment comes from not listening, you don't get to say anything about it, because in 30 and 31, it says, since they would not accept my advice, which means the advice was given, it was offered, you now have a choice to either do or not to do. And spurned my rebuke. To spurn my rebuke basically means I don't want to listen to you. Like, who you think you are talking to me? You don't know better than me. Or somebody trying to correct somebody. How you gonna tell me what to do and you need to blah, 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 blah. Negating the fact that what they said is true. And instead of being mature about it, you rather flip it around and make the other person look like they're the one with the problem, when it was really sent to help your behind. But you want to play boo-boo the fool in this scenario. So later, right after that verse, it says in 31, when I get back down to it, they, not them, they will eat the fruit. They will eat the fruit of their ways and be filled with the fruit of their schemes, because you thought you could get over, you could get by me, included things that I know I've needed to do. And I'm like, all right, that's about time to get this together. But if I'm gonna have to eat some fruit, I want it to be good fruit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to eat the fruit of hard ways and hard choices on top of the other things that we already have to deal with. So I'm not going to go too far. I don't know if these things are going to have certain times with them, but I will continue. I'm probably going to dig a little bit more because there's so much nuggets and so much value to be gained in each of these scriptures, in each of these chapters and Proverbs. But I do thank you guys for joining me, like I said, in the first installment of Proverbs, my spin on the book of Proverbs, which to me is the voice of wisdom. So I'll see you guys next time.